where the Wildcats will be taking on the Jacksonville. And on the camera, so you can watch it live streaming on YouTube. And John Mark Dempsey will be doing our play-by-play. Welcome, John Mark.
Chad, thank you very much. Excited to be with you on KSST tonight. And things with you, but this is the thing, of course, that we most look forward to, I think.
Yes, absolutely, and we look forward to another great season of Wildcat football. They did great last season. We've got 10 games. Hopefully this is the farthest we'll have to drive to. Our longest drive already, sponsored by J. Hodge Chevrolet, who provided that nice vehicle for us to get down here. Took, a couple hours to get down to Jacksonville.
It's a great Tahoe. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
Yes, but a very nice stadium, the Tomato Bowl, out here, looking west into the sun right now. As the sun, we've got a little bit of cloud cover. The sun's trying to go down, but the temperature hasn't gone down yet. We're inside with a little air conditioning, so I'm enjoying that right now, John Mark. The temperature 97 degrees right now. No wind, so temperature very close to what it's like in Sulphur Springs right now, so you can just imagine. And a pretty good crowd so far, making the drive up from Sulphur Springs down here to Jacksonville, and they're still coming in. We've got 100 or so people on the visitor side already as the teams get ready to take the field. The Jacksonville team down here warming up, getting ready to come out of their big tunnel, and then haven't seen the Wildcats coming out of their locker room yet, but looks to be an exciting game. We heard your interview with Brandon Fairchild, John Mark, so what else do we have in store for us tonight for this face-off with the Jacksonville Indians?
Well, Brandon Faircloth is an interesting story, and of course came in last year and really turned things around. And you've already said they went 7-3 in the regular season, then lost in the by-district, so a 7-4 season overall. A great career he had at Port Neches Groves, 101-52 over 13 years down in southeast Texas. But I was reading about him. Another interesting thing about Coach Faircloth, he was an assistant before he went to Port Neches Groves at Austin Westlake, Highland Park, and Odessa Permian.
Those are kind of some strong programs, aren't they?
Big-time programs there, along with Port Neches Groves. So his pedigree is remarkable, and those are 4 great Texas high school football programs that he's been very closely associated with. So I don't think it's too big a surprise that he turned things around. And I don't know, he obviously has other assistant coaches and other people involved, but things did turn around in a big way last year.
Yes, and he had some great talent to work with, and some of those guys coming back this year. Of course, including our quarterback, Brady Driver, will be taking a lot of the snaps tonight, and the quarterback was his own teammates there as well, and expect to fear.
Remarking on the Tomato Bowl, which indeed was built here in 1940. That was a WPA project, a Works Progress Administration project, and as with so many of those, they use stone.
Right.
And so they have stone. If anybody has stone.
Right.
And so they have stone. If anybody has a connection to Sam Houston State, if you remember the old Sam Houston Stadium, looks a lot like but that's going back. Very modern stadium, but the stone masonry all the way around certainly gives it that classic look. But it
down. And another fantastic performance by the Wildcat Band, John Marr.
Well, yeah, I tell you, Sulphur Springs is getting that reputation, and I saw the Springs High School won 5th place in the 4A UIL Lone Star Cup competition in 2023, earning points for fine arts, academics, and athletics, and band is certainly part of that. So, and the drill team. So, props to the Sulphur Springs ISD for that very impressive performance there, as in the top 5 of the UIL Lone Star Cup competition. Wow.
Yeah, well, fantastic. The other band comes out, their other drill team is going to be performing, and then their band will perform. We'll talk about what's going on with in the locker room right now. Is Brandon Fairchild probably giving a little pep talk to the Wildcats, and not a bad first half. Pretty good on the defense side of the ball, really. Just going to have to get that ball moving on the offense.
I'm surprised that Sulphur Springs did not generate more offense in the first half. I really am, and I kind of think that we'll see a lot more in the second half. But one of the problems that the Wildcats are having is that I am also surprised that Jacksonville moving with their running game, and that keeps the clock moving. We don't. The time of possession, I suspect that Jacksonville has a big advantage in time of possession.
Right.
In the first half, if I get a chance, we could count up a number of snaps. I would be able to talk about that. But I think, the rushing game for Jacksonville has allowed them to kind of keep control of the game more than Sulphur Springs would like.
Yeah, and then on their passing game, when they have a pass, when they connect on when Brady McCowan connects with one of his receivers, it's usually big.
Yep.
And they've a lot of incomplete passes on their side of the ball, but when they connect big, and they can move down the field on that. And their fast-paced offense is really working for them, I think. The Wildcats get set up, but not quick enough to call a play, and the offense of the Indians, they'll run down, and even on a first down, when they're moving the chains, they'll snap that ball before they get the chain set, and they're off to the races. And it's worked out very well for them a couple of times. And so I think I think we'll see the defense of the Wildcats getting up to the line a little bit faster in the second half and trying to anticipate that fast-paced offense. Now, got a message from James Terry back at the station. A caller has called in to remind me, not you, but remind me it's not Jacksonville Stadium, but it's the Tomato Bowl. And we have a great view of that, of the home side over there, where in big, huge letters it does say the Tomato Bowl, and I have really no idea why a stadium built in the 1940s is still referred to as the Tomato Bowl.
Well, probably. Again, my understanding is because of tomato farming, the big crop of tomatoes. Now, whether that is still so or not, I don't know, but I suspect in 1940 that it was, and it may very well still be. It is the historic Tomato Bowl.
Oh, the historic Tomato Bowl. Okay, well, I stand corrected on all of that, and I'll try to make better use of my explanation of where we are. We're here at the Tomato Bowl, Jacksonville, Texas. As the Wildcats are down 9-7, the Indians have put 9 points on the board. The Wildcats, a very impressive drive to put 7 points on the board, and we're watching of course, we're on the wrong side to see the performance of not only the drill teams and the band for both sides, as we're on the visitor side, and kind of a rare setup over here, but we're inside, some nice air conditioning, and even though it's 91 degrees outside and the flag out there is not moving, there's not a breath of air out there on the field. So I know these young kids are really sweating during these performances, so our hat is off to them as they put in some great performances. So we'll be back in just a moment. We'll hear from some of our halftime sponsors, and we'll talk more about what's coming up in the second half. James, take us to break, please, sir. Okay, we'll hear from all the halftime sponsors.
Officers for 2023-24. Watch now as the Twirlers perform to the Elvis Presley Classic, Viva Las Vegas.
And we're back at the Tomato Bowl. John Mark. Wildcats are down 9-7. The Indians have had a good first half, and so if you got some more stats for us about.
Let's recap the scoring here. Scoreless first quarter.
Right.
And then Jacksonville gets the ball at their own 45-yard line. They have a 55-yard drive in 4 plays, a 15-yard pass on that drive to Brendan Richards was a key play, but then they got the 28-yard touchdown pass from Brady McCown to Jermaine Taylor, and the snap on the extra point was low, so they did not get the extra point, but it was 6-0 Jacksonville with 10:34 left to go in the first half. Wildcats came right back. That really seemed to jolt them. They started at their own 27-yard line. They score in 3 plays, a 73-yard drive in 3 plays, and the big play on that drive was a 49-yard catch and run by Jackson Hare to the Jacksonville 17-yard line. Next play, it was the 17-yard touchdown pass from Brady Driver to Sky Lewis, and then the extra point was good by Eric Rodriguez, and the Wildcats led 7-6 at that point midway through the second quarter. And then Jacksonville goes on a long drive, but only able to get a field goal out of it. A 58-yard drive in 11 plays, a 15-yard run by Dede Maris was a key play on that drive, but the 35-yard field goal by Jesus Nunez gave them a 9-7 lead. That was with 5:09 left to go in the second quarter, and there was no more scoring in the first half. Jacksonville had a long drive, or kept the ball for a long time anyway, started at their own 10-yard line after that 64-yard punt, you remember, by Brady Driver for Sulphur Springs, pinned them back. But again, we saw that their ability to run the football was effective, and they got all the way to the Sulphur Springs 31-yard line, and in fact got to the 10-yard line, but then they had a penalty that brought that play back, and they were penalized several times, ended up having to punt. But they had a very effective drive there from their own 10-yard line as far as the Sulphur Springs 31, but the penalties and mistakes seem at that point. Anyway, 9-7 is our score here.
They're doing well in their first half of their ball game, and I think now I wonder what I think it's going to be business as usual for the Jacksonville Fighting Indians as they when they come out. They have a great success with handing that ball off to their huge running back there that can just power over
Jaden Boyd.
Yes, just he powers over everybody that just takes 3 or 4 Wildcat defenders to take him down. And then they've got to straighten out their passing game. They have a great arm and Brady McCowan, and they've got some really good receivers, but just haven't been able to connect. But like we said, when they connect big. And so I expected to see some other big pass plays by the Indians in this second half. So we'll see what the night holds. Maybe both sides, all the players on each side are getting some good rest and getting rehydrated as the Wildcats Wildcats come back out on their corner of the field over on this side as the Indian band is wrapping up and leaving the field, so it won't be long now before the second half.
Real important point, Chad, is that Sulphur Springs will have the ball to start the third quarter.
They will.
I think that's why we saw them run out the clock at the end of the first half.
Because they knew they were going to be getting the ball back. Yes, that's a great point. They won the toss and deferred to take the second half kickoff, and so that's going to work out well for them. They did a good job holding the Indians there on that last drive. That was kind of scary. The Indians had plenty of time. We're marching down the field, like you said, some bad plays and some penalties pushed them back, but it was also because of the Wildcat defenders that kind of held them, did a great job of keeping them off the getting on the scoreboard.
Well, remember also we had a great play on the Sulphur Springs side of the ball as far as the defense is concerned. Alex McCormick, the sophomore linebacker, had a sack on Brady McCown, and that was a key play on that drive by Jacksonville in keeping them from being able to score.
Right, exactly. And it looks like Mount Pleasant, who we face next week, they're up over, let's see, who are they playing this week? That's
Pittsburgh, looks like.
Yes, 23-7 over Pittsburgh, right? And so they're doing having a good first half there. A lot of these teams' scores coming in right here at halftime. So your halftime score for your Wildcats, the Indians 9, the Wildcats 7. And so we're going to take another break as the Wildcats get ready to come out and receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff for the second half. We'll take a break and be back with you in just a moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that drive to Liberty Ilo is farther than this, isn't it?
Could be. Yes, I just brought up the Liberty Ilo score. They're getting beaten by Henderson 14-7, and then they're already in the third quarter. And we're back here in Jacksonville at the Tomato Bowl, John Mark, and the Wildcats are getting ready to come back out and start this second half as the halftime clock under 30 seconds counting down, and the Indians are taking the field. They're excited to be back out there. It's just still certainly unbearably hot out there on the field, 91 degrees still outside. It just doesn't seem to be cooling off. And
I will say this, though. It has cooled off some since we got it.
Oh, absolutely,
and,
yes.
And when I went out at halftime,
or whatever.
Yeah, when I went out at halftime, it's still hot, but not like it was when we got here about 5:30. So
yes, so making that long drive in the J. Hodge Chevrolet, that Tahoe that they so graciously loaned us to drive today.
Nice vehicle.
Yes, very nice vehicle, and see Bill Owens and the gang over there at J. Hodge, and they're sponsoring our kickoff as the Wildcats will be receiving the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff here in just a moment. The big balloon tunnels are being deflated and drug off the field, and the Wildcats are already getting some instructions from their coaches there to get this second half started.
Lady Wildcats volleyball team was in action this evening. They played Wills Point at 4:30 at the Wildcat Gym, and if anybody should have that score and you can get that to us, we would like to know it. They were 11-8 coming into the game under head coach Bailey Dorner. Now they will be at home Tuesday night against Canton, so that's a good opportunity to see them in action. 6 p.m. Tuesday, Lady Wildcat volleyball at home Tuesday night. Cross-country team at Kaufman tomorrow, and I'm sure they'll be getting a very early start for that meet, no doubt around 8 a.m. But they'll be at Kaufman, so good luck to the Lady Wildcat volleyball team and the cross-country team. Also, team tennis, I believe, is playing now. Here's the kickoff by Jesus Nunez, and again, that short diagonal kick taken to the right side by Wyatt Watson for the Sulphur Springs. 3-yard line.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now they say the 30-yard line. I thought I saw him at the 33, but the 30-yard line. That will be the line of scrimmage for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats, trailing 9-7 here as we start the second half of play in Jacksonville tonight in the historic Tomato Bowl.
There we go. Glad you got that right, John Hart.
Brady Driver in the shotgun. First down from the 30. Handoff. Straight ahead, and a little wiggle there, and this is for Sulphur Springs. This is D. Rose Luke. First time we have seen him.
Yes, and he gave a second and third effort all the way up, 12-yard gain there for a first down, and it's Hooten's Hardware first down for your Wildcats.
D. Rose Luke in the ball game. He takes the handoff again, goes to his right and cuts it back, and showing more power than you might imagine, pushing the pile there, as he is not a very big guy.
He just kept pushing. He turned a 1-yard gain into 5, and they're going to mark him up there. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for your Wildcats. Getting close to the midfield line there. They're still on their side, on the Wildcat side. And they're going to call that one the forward progress. They're going to back him up just a little bit there.
Give him the 48-yard line, we'll say. So this is 2nd down and 5. That first gain of 12 yards gave the Wildcats a first down. Now, once again, Luke going to his right, cutting it back, keeping his feet moving, and he is into Jacksonville territory and close to a first down at about the 47-yard line. D. Rose Luke. He is a junior running back, and we did not see him in the first half.
1st and 10, another Hooten's Hardware first down for your Wildcats. They're on the Indian side of the field into Indian territory, trying to make something happen, put some points on the board.
Jeff Stevenson out over the football at center for Sulphur Springs. Here's Luke again on the handoff from Driver. Luke off tackle to the left side, lowers his shoulder, and close to another first down as Elijah Whitaker there on the tackle for Jacksonville along with Andrew Dials.
Give him about 9 yards, it looks like.
Gets to 37.
Yeah, so that's going to be a real good gain.
They haven't moved the down marker here for whatever reason.
No, not yet.
But that looks like...
Thought I saw a flag.
Well, now you may have.
Yeah, there's now they're...
holding Sulphur Springs.
So they're going to back that one up.
Yeah, that'll take away about a 10-yard gain for the Wildcats, and depending upon where the spot of the foul was, we'll see what the down and distance will be. It'll still be first down.
Still walking.
Must have been right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so that's going to back them all the way up. It's going to make it a 1st and 20.
In fact, behind the line of scrimmage, yeah. Mercy. That pushes Sulphur Springs all the way back to the 43-yard line in Sulphur Springs territory.
Oh, my goodness. So let's...
10. That's 1st and 20.
Yeah.
Wildcats moving right to left. They are trailing 9-7 to Jacksonville early in the third period. Brady Driver takes the snap. Driver fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He is a dangerous ball carrier, and he is on the loose as he goes out to the right side and is the 48-yard line. In Jacksonville territory. So he gets 9 yards on that carry. And by the way, Brady Driver last season, 524 yards rushing for Sulphur Springs, 5.3 yards per carry and 9 touchdowns. 6'1", 190-pound senior, first-team All-District player in 22. Second down 11 from the 47-yard line. Driver to Luke. And Luke, between the tackles, running hard, is across the 45 to about the 42-yard line for a gain of about 5 yards. And this is going to be third down and make it 6 for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats down 9-7. This is their first possession of the second half. Brady Driver, the junior quarterback, takes the snap, passing, and incomplete over on the far side, intended for Chris Adams, but threw it behind him.
Yeah, a little bit behind him, sure was, and so that's going to bring up. Is that going to be fourth down? It
should be fourth down now, yeah.
Fourth down. They haven't changed it yet, but...
By the way, I just called Brady Driver a junior. He is a senior. Don't want to take away from his academic credit there.
I still haven't changed the down marker. It's going to be...
Yeah, there's still some confusion about that. And Luke...
looking for
Brandon, I'm mixing my head coaches up. Jason Holman is asking about it. Jason Holman, the head coach of the Jacksonville Indians. And now a penalty being walked off against Jacksonville here. And I did not see the indication of that, but it will be fourth down and 1. It's fourth down, but fourth down and 1. Driver keeps it for Sulphur Springs. Now, was there a loose ball? I think he had the first down.
Yeah, he had the first down. Turned around, knocked the ball loose. They dropped it. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah, flag.
There's all kinds of stuff going on here. They're really going to have to sort this one out.
So that previous play, there was some confusion about whether it was third down or fourth down, and they finally did say that it was fourth down, but they moved the ball up, and it was a fourth down and 1 play for whatever reason. This is the first game for everybody, officials included.
Yep, so now they're talking about it again.
Face mask penalty here against Jacksonville.
All right.
So that's a personal foul, and that'll give the Wildcats the first down. And that might have accounted, Chad, for Brady losing the handle of the football. Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the penalty now against Jacksonville.
They're walking it on down there, so that's going to be really good news for the Wildcats. Give them a new set of downs. It's going to be your Hooten's Hardware first down. About the 22-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for your Wildcats. Knocking on the door of the end zone here in Indian territory here at the Tomato Bowl.
Yeah, first down at the 22-yard line. Sulphur Springs trailing 9-7. This drive started at the Wildcat 30-yard line. This now will be the 7th play of the drive. Luke on the handoff from Driver.
Looks like a loose
Luke,
ball
that
there.
does. It looks as if he might have lost the handle on the ball.
And looks like the Indians, they think they came up with it.
The indication is a recovery for Jacksonville.
So that's going to turn the ball over and give them first down deep in their own territory, about on the 23-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians. Unfortunate turn of events there for your Wildcats as he dove over the middle and just ended up losing the ball. So the defense for your Wildcats come out and try to hold these Indians deep into their own territory.
Ball will be on the 18-yard line. It was Reese Hicks that came up with the fumble recovery for Jacksonville. So on first down, running play between the tackles, and the Wildcats respond to it extremely well. Ryan Walker, one of the tacklers there for Sulphur Springs. That is Dede Maris on the carry for Jacksonville. And did he get back to the line of scrimmage would be the question. Or perhaps did he pick up a yard?
Yeah, they're going to give him a couple of yards there, it looks like, and it's going to call it second and
Yeah, he did. He actually did get a couple of yards, didn't he? So here is a quick pass to the sideline, and it is complete from Brady McCown.
Yes, that receiver broke 2 tackles, spun around, and it took 3 Wildcats to take him down. So a huge gain there after that short 2-yard gain. They're going to move all the way up to the 35-yard line, 36-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for those Indians.
Jermaine Taylor on the catch for Jacksonville. D.D. Maris takes the handoff, going off right tackle up to about the 40-yard line before he's brought down. And in on that tackle for Sulphur Springs, Ty Bybee was there, who had 58 tackles a year ago. Also, once again, well, this was Braxton Wall, I should say, the linebacker, senior linebacker for the Wildcats, helping out also on that tackle. 2nd down and 5 from the 40-yard line. Indians from the spread. They give it to the big guy, Jaden Boyd. Boyd problem. Between the tackles, just plowing ahead and gets to about the 50-yard line. Ryan Walker there for Sulphur Springs to help bring him down. Also went on that tackle was Nathan Andrews, senior.
Be another Indian 1st down. They come up to the line pretty quickly. They want to get that fast-paced offense going again. That kind of caused some trouble for the Wildcats.
10 yards on that gain now from the 50, 1st down and 10. Jaden Boyd a step to the right of the quarterback. Now here is a misplay on the snap. Some kind of miscommunication there, and McCown has to fall on it back at the Jacksonville 41-yard line for a loss of 9 yards.
Yeah, good break for the Wildcats there. Just snapped it too high. He lost it, went between his hands, hit him in the helmet, and he dropped the ball and then just fell on it. A loss of 9 yards, and so expect a big pass play here. I'm
not even sure if he was ready for it. He might not have been expecting the snap on the count when it came. Here's the snap to Brady McCown, passing to the far side. A sliding catch over on the far side by Jermaine Taylor, who's had a big night for the Indians in Sulphur Springs territory at the 49-yard line. This was a 2nd down and 20 play for Jacksonville. Now another conversation involving the officials. Referee is Richard King tonight. And we have an illegal procedure penalty against Jacksonville. So that's going to wipe out that nice gain to the Sulphur Springs 49-yard line.
A lot of mistakes here.
And on top of that bad snap or miscommunication on the snap, the play before, this moves them back now to the 36-yard line, or it should. Another bad snap or some kind of problem between the center and the quarterback, Brady McCown, and he falls on the ball all the way back at the Jacksonville 24-yard line.
Wow.
Mercy.
Yes.
That's a loss of 12 yards.
Yeah, and this is going to be, should be 4th down now.
Good heavens.
Maybe they've already changed the down marker there. 3rd down. They're showing 5 minutes left here in this 3rd quarter. They're kind of slowing down their fast-paced offense here.
I've got this 3rd and 35. I'm not trusting the scoreboard.
Right, no, it's 10, 20, 35, probably more than that.
McCown with the snap, passing, and it's caught by Elijah Whitaker. Whitaker circles out of a tackle, gets up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and he was popped by number 42 for the Wildcats there, and kept him from getting a big gain there. Well, he got a big gain, but he needed a huge gain. So
they only give him the 33. I saw him. I thought he got to the 35, but gets to the 33 for a gain of 9 yards. But 4th and very long here.
27, I think, is the way I counted. 4:25 left in this 3rd quarter. The Indians are going to have to punt here. There's got 2 Wildcats back standing
choice.
On their own 35-yard line, waiting for the punt. Got number 6.
They got as far as the 50-yard line on this possession, you recall.
Oh, yeah. The first and 10 marker there starts at the 50 going into Wildcat territory at the 40. And now we have maybe delay of
game. Yeah.
So,
right. So
it's
wheels
back them up a little bit more before they have to kick it.
It's wheels off for Jacksonville right now.
Yeah. So a lot of
I don't know what happened with these bad snaps or
miscommunication
or whatever's going on there, but that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So pushing back another 5 yards to the 28-yard line. Jacksonville, in all of this, Jacksonville is still leading 9-7 over Sulphur Springs with 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 2 Wildcat safeties standing at the 42-yard line in Sulphur Springs territory. Jesus Nunez, beautiful punt, spiraling punt, fair catch taken at the 44-yard line.
On the Wildcat side.
Yes, at the Wildcat 44 by Wyatt Watson. He's very sure-handed for Sulphur Springs on all kicks.
So a lot of time clicking off the clock there. It's 3 minutes, 56 seconds left in this third quarter. Wildcats not making much of their first possession in the second half, and the Indians going backwards more than they went forward on that particular possession. And so now no points scored in the second half. It's still 9-7. The Wildcats are down. The Indians have 9, the Wildcats 7, and the Wildcats are going to have their first down on their own 45-yard line to start this drive.
Man in motion from right to left. And Driver handing off to Cameron Jefferson. Jefferson off left tackle and nowhere to go.
Maybe they're going to give him a yard on that. Maybe not. No gain on the play. They're going to. And he had a little second effort there, but I guess his knee got down. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 right on the Wildcat 45-yard line.
Wildcats trailing 9-7. Play action pass. And quickly out to the flat. And that is Wyatt Watson who makes the catch and then is able to maneuver downfield for a few more yards into Jacksonville territory. He gets to the 46-yard line. So 3rd down and 1 for Sulphur Springs. 3:13 left to go, third quarter.
Still 9-7, Indians over the Wildcats here at the Tomato Bowl.
Wildcats had a nice sustained drive on their first possession of the third quarter, but lost it on a fumble. Now this is their second possession. Brady Driver will keep it, and Driver straight ahead lowers his shoulder and will have the first down as he gets to about the 40-yard line of Jacksonville.
Yes, great keeper by Brady Driver going right up the middle. He only needed about a yard. He got 4 or 5 yards there on that carry, and so he got on down the field. They're well into Indian territory on the Indian 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for another Hooten's Hardware first down.
Sulphur Springs moving from our right to our left. They're moving to the south end zone at the Tomato Bowl.
Yep.
2 men wide to the far side. And this is another running play to Cameron Jefferson. And Jefferson,
here come the flags.
Jefferson goes down after a short gain, and flags down all over the place at the end of that play. And now temper starting to flare just a bit.
Yeah.
Getting a little chippy out there. And all this heat.
They may not have thrown a flag on that. They should. There was, we'll call it some extended tackling on that play that running back for the Wildcats is already down, and the defender there for the Indians kept driving him into the ground. And so it turned out to be a bunch of the yellow hats on the Wildcat coaches there that I saw as they gathered around trying to break that up. Looks like
there's a conversation taking place.
Yes, that should
between
Richard have been a personal foul against the Indians because there was a lot of action going on after the whistle had blown. Richard
King, the referee, and Greg Gallion, the umpire, having a long conversation here at about the 37-yard line.
Ended up being about a 2-yard gain for the Wildcats. It should be 2nd and 8, but looks like he's getting ready to mark off some yardage. Let's see what happens. Now there's another conversation going on the far side of the field with a couple of the striped shirts and getting their opinion on what happened from all the way on the far side of the field.
As it stands, I think it would be a 2nd down and 8.
It would.
At the 38-yard line in Jacksonville territory. And now the umpire, Greg Gallion, has the ball in his hand. He's facing the Jacksonville goal line as if he's about to walk off a penalty, but I don't want to presume that. There he goes.
Yeah, good. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this third quarter as the...
this is a major penalty. It's a personal foul penalty.
It should have been.
And I took my the eyes off of the referee, Richard King, who signaled to the stands over on the far side, but it's a personal foul.
Oh, and it's offsetting personal fouls because he walked it off.
Oh, my
goodness. Then he walked it back.
Wow.
So
How about that?
The ball remains exactly where it was. They're going to show about that 2-yard gain.
Well, if it's dead ball, then the play would count, and it would be 2nd down and 8, but the down marker still showing 1st down. But it's
it should be 2nd.
I think they'll have to change that.
Yeah.
They have this electrically lit down marker, which I like a lot. It's very bright.
Yes,
it's easy
on
to
this
see.
side, which is easier to see, but the placement's not so easy to see.
They're still showing this as 1st down, but I don't know how it could be 1st down and 8. Yeah. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But from the 38-yard line, here's the snap from Driver, and handoff goes to Cameron Jefferson off left tackle, and Jefferson slashing down close to a 1st down across the 35.
And they may mark him a little bit shorter there. I thought he was got about 9 yards. It's going to look like it's about 7, really.
Put him down at the 31 or 32.
32.
Put it at the 32.
Yep.
So that's a gain of 6 yards. And now they're still showing 2nd down, so we'll go with that. 2nd down and 2 for Sulphur Springs at the 32-yard line. Ball is on the near hash. Brady Driver takes the snap. Handoff to the setback, and that is Cameron Jefferson on this particular possession. Looks like he will remain in the game. And now here comes a very late flag as Jefferson got almost nothing on that 2nd down play, and a flag tossed high into the air at the end of that play.
So tensions running high here at the Tomato Bowl with Jacksonville Indians being pushed backwards down the field. The Wildcats doing a good job of marching down the field here, but also some penalties involved, some offsetting penalties on that last play.
We'd be looking at here at about a 3rd and 2, Chad.
Yep.
But
they still haven't changed the down marker, and they still haven't stopped discussing it. So
personal foul, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, Sulphur Springs.
Yeah.
Oh my! So that's 15 yards the other way. All right, so they walk this one back to the 46-yard line.
1 minute, 43 seconds left in this third quarter. No score in the third quarter, 9-7, the Indians over the Wildcats. And a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of tensions running high. It's time for a cool-down period for these Wildcats because we don't want these referees getting their steps in so much by marking off this yardage.
It's about a 3rd and 16 now for Sulphur Springs. Driver takes the snap,
and there's a whistle.
In the pocket, whistles. Wow, it is a first game, isn't it?
Yep.
And Jacksonville had taken a timeout on the 3rd and 16 from the 46-yard line. For whatever reason, Jacksonville wanted timeout, and so they will have their timeout.
And we'll take a break with them. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back at the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville. The Wildcats 7, the Indians 9, 1:39 left in this third quarter. Tensions are running high. A few penalties, some unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, some offsetting penalties. John Mark, it's got the Wildcats pushed back now. What's that going to be? 3rd and 17, it looks like. But they're in Indian territory. They need to just kind of calm down.
Well, I think you've got 2 downs here. I think unless they were to lose some more yardage, I think they're unlikely to punt on 4th down. There's no way they're going to attempt a field goal.
Right.
So you look at this 3rd down and 16 play, or the scoreboard says 3rd and 17,
yep.
As if you want to get maybe 10 yards or so, and then have a makeable 4th down. I think that's the way they will approach it. But I think I'm personally surprised that the Wildcat offense has not been more productive so far here tonight. But I think you've got to give a lot of credit to the Jacksonville defense for that, without doubt. But still a long way to go here.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of time left. Minute 39 left in this third quarter. We've got the whole fourth quarter, but I'm not sure if it's the heat that's getting to these players. It certainly has to be a factor. It's still 89 degrees outside and very humid. Got to be very hot down on that artificial turf. But just a lot going on. And the Indians, I have to say, in this second half, have not looked very organized.
No, they haven't.
Yeah.
They have not. And, they had the drive here some time ago that was just, as I think I used the word, wheels off. Had a lot of problems with the snaps and various penalties, illegal procedure, and the rest. I see that D. Rose Luke is back in the ball game for the Wildcats at the tailback position. He looked very good on the first possession of the third quarter here. And he's back in the game now at a running back slot for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats.
He has a lot of second effort on his runs and even some third effort. He gets on down the field, and it's difficult for those defenders to take him down, so that's what we need.
Jeff Stevenson, the center, out over the football. Snap to driver rolling out, passing downfield for Sky Lewis. Did he make the catch? No, they say incomplete. Lewis very nearly made a spectacular one-handed catch inside the 20-yard line.
And I think one of those defenders got a hand on him and pushed him, but there's no flag. That defender even lost his helmet, but they're saying no contact.
Sulphur Springs coaches in the booth next to us definitely thought there should have been a call there.
Looking for that. If I had my yellow flag, I'd throw it from here, John Mark, because that was definitely some interference there. But
now they did not do what I thought they would do. They went for the first down and more on that play, and didn't try to just pick up half the yardage needed. So now they're looking here at a 4th and 17, unless is there a penalty, because there's some kind of conversation about that.
Yeah, they're marking something off. Must have been a holding penalty, because they marked it off from in the middle of the field there where nothing else was happening, and now they're going the other way with it.
Confusion reigns.
Yeah. So, my goodness, that's going to be a big, huge gain for these Wildcats as they mark off some yardage against the Indians. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, Chet, I still have not seen a flag down on the field here.
No, but they've changed the down marker to first down, but they haven't moved the chains yet. And so still a lot of confusion here. Now they're moving the chains, and they'll mark it. That's going to be a first down. Maybe they did call that pass interference that I saw. They saw my flag from all the way up here. So it's going to be 1st and 10, a Hooten's Hardware 1st 10 for your Wildcats on the Indian 31-yard line.
That would be consistent with a pass interference call.
Yes,
Chad.
Yep. So right where first the official marked it back off against the Wildcats and then turned around.
Yeah.
So
that was 15 yards from the previous spot.
Yeah.
So that would suggest a pass interference call, but I never never saw a flag.
No, I didn't either, but they marked off 15, moved the chains, changed the down marker to a 1, which is what we need, and now it's 1st and 10 for your Wildcats, and 31 left in this third quarter.
And now more palaver taking place on the field here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. We're going to get this sorted out. We don't want to break away because this is some high tension right here.
You're right. I tell you one thing. You're right about the Wildcat coach's yellow cap. Sometimes if you see it out of the corner of your eye, that might look like a flag. But
well, of course, we're here on the visitor side, and for those of you not watching on our YouTube channel, but the players are between us and the field, and then the coaches are in front of the players, and so sometimes the coaches step out in view, being blocked by a player previously, and all of a sudden that yellow hat appears that they're wearing, and it looks like a flag. Here it comes.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Wildcats down 9-7. Here's a pass into the end zone for Sky Lewis. Looks like he's got it. Touchdown. 31-yard touchdown pass. Brady Driver to Sky Lewis. Nicely thrown ball and a beautiful catch by the senior, and here's another flag down at the end of this play.
Probably for excessive celebration,
Maybe
but what a fantastic play. And the Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats for making that big play and a touchdown, putting 6 points on the board. They haven't changed the scoreboard yet, but it'll soon be 13-9 as the Wildcats go ahead of the Indians, and then of course we're waiting for the point after attempt here, so we'll see if they can put another point on the board and increase that.
Great leaping catch by Sky Davis, who's appropriately named Sky, in the back left corner of the end zone, but Brady Driver put it where only he could make that catch. So 31-yard touchdown pass, and that is the second touchdown pass of the night. Touchdown reception for Sky Lewis and the second touchdown pass for Brady Driver. So they're quite a combination. Eric Rodriguez on the field now to attempt the extra point for the Wildcats. Nathan Andrews is the snapper. And Caden Mitchell will hold, and a somewhat low snap there, but Caden Mitchell does a good job of getting it down, and the kick is good. So the Wildcats take a 14-9 lead over the Jacksonville Indians.
1:20 left in this third quarter. We're going to take a break as they get ready for the kickoff. We'll be back with you with some Wildcat football in just a moment. Ball in Jacksonville, where the Wildcats have just gone ahead of the Jacksonville. Score 14-9 as they just connected with a beautiful pass play to the back corner of the end zone and put 6 points on the board, and then with the extra point, they're up 14-9 over these Indians, and now we're getting backed up probably from that penalty, maybe a celebration penalty or something after that touchdown.
I think so.
The J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff will be a little bit longer for our kicker for the Wildcats, as he'll be teeing it up there on his own 25-yard line, and we'll expect a big, huge, booming kick out of
what a lot of high school teams like to do is to kick that diagonal kickoff, and they'll give you the 25 or the 30-yard line. They really can't do that here without giving Jacksonville terrific field position. So he does try to boom it, and he does get a nice kick all the way back to the 12-yard line, and here will be the return for Jacksonville. And the return out across the 25 to the 27-yard line or thereabouts.
And they gets wrapped up by a lot of Wildcat jerseys, and they're not going to make much out of that. They're going to be starting out about the 23-yard line for their 1st and 10 deep in their own territory, and the Wildcats are suddenly on their wish.
Coaches and the press backs are certainly fired up right now. They're sitting next to us, and they're pounding the table. And
the Wildcat coaches are here in the booth next to us, and we can feel the vibrations all the way over here.
Reese Hicks on the return there, by the way, for Jacksonville.
Yep.
So here we go. Indians up to the line. First down from their own 27. Sulphur Springs leading 14-9. And we have now loose ball again. Another snap problem here for Jacksonville as Brady McCown has to chase it all the way back inside the 10-yard line. Mercy.
Yes, that was another miscommunication. We said that they've had plenty of those, and he let the ball get past him, and he had to sprint for it and get it back
at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, covered it up.
And I do not know what has happened to cause this, because they weren't having these snap problems in the first half.
Right, yeah. So they're backed all the way up. It's going to be second
loss.
Down, and about 28.
Play action. McCown passing deep. Nobody out there for Jacksonville.
A couple of Wildcats were out there and went over the head of one of the Wildcats. That he got turned around. He almost got to it for an interception, but
line of scrimmage is the 11-yard line. I had that as a 13-yard loss or 12-yard loss.
Okay.
And now an incomplete pass. So this is third down.
They've got the ball all the way back on the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it's at 11, yeah. They got to get out. Well, okay. Yeah. So this is now third down and
28.
28, okay. Right, so that was a bigger loss than I at first realized. Here's the snap to McCown, and he will now just keep it himself and go up the middle and picks up a few yards out to the 15-yard line or so, but that's all.
Looks like he finally ended up handing off to number 2 there, ended up with the ball.
Oh, that would be Reese Hicks then.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
We've got an Indian back down in the backfield, which is going to be an injury timeout. We're going to take a break with them, and we'll be back with Wildcat football here in just a moment. Two, please, James.
Okay, they were at the 28 rather than I wrote it down as the 23. They were at the 28.
Correct.
Okay, that's what it was.
They've got to get to the 38.
Yeah.
So I don't know which player that is that's down.
Well, I am just having a
Here he's getting 19. No, it's the big back. The big back.
Jaden Boyd. Mm-hmm. Mercy. It doesn't look good. He's walking, but he's not.
We're back in Jacksonville, Wildcat football. The Wildcats are up 14-9 over the Jacksonville Fighting Indians here at the Tomato Bowl. We've had just had an injury timeout. The big running back for the Jacksonville Indians looked like walking off the field under his own power, but limping, maybe with twisted ankles. So Indians coming back up here for first and 10.
Yeah, there have been, it's obviously a penalty walked off here against Sulphur Springs during the break, and it moves them up to the 30-yard line for a first down.
So, yeah, they're back up to where they kind of started. The 30-yard line instead of it was the 28.
They started, I wrote it down as the 23, but they started the possession at the 28. Then they had the bad snap or whatever it was that put them back at the 11 for a loss of 17, and then they had gained to the 15. But there was a personal foul penalty assessed against Sulphur Springs that put them back at the 30 and a first down. Now this is second down and 10, and up the middle they go with the ball to.
He gets right up the middle for a first down. It's going to be all the way up to the 43-yard line. It's first and 10 for the Indians. Yep. Hand it off again.
To Reese Hicks once again. And this time he is bottled up near the line of scrimmage and making the tackle for the Wildcats. It's Truth Holmes. What a great name.
Maybe 1 yard. It's going to be second and 9, and they're only going to give him 1 yard on that carry. And Indians going back with that fast-paced offense are coming up to the line of scrimmage for the next play.
Brady McCown, and his back almost ran into him there, but McCown gets it out, and this goes all the way to the goal line for a Jacksonville touchdown, and this is Jermaine Taylor, their big gun, who makes the catch in the flat over on the far side.
And outruns every Wildcat defender and gets straight through all the way in, taking it to the house, and he's going to put 6 more points on the board for the Indians, putting them 1 point ahead of the Wildcats right now, 15-14. It's going to be interesting to see if they kick the ball or go for 2 points to make it a 3-point ball game.
55-yard touchdown pass from Brady McCown to Jermaine Taylor.
They're going to kick it.
Jesus Nunez is the place kicker for the Indians. Low snap again. And the kick up, and he does get it through the uprights.
It's good, and so that's going to put the Indians up ahead of the Wildcats again, 16-14. It's a 2-point game here at the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with you with Wildcat football on KSST.
Wow.
Oh, okay. We got plenty of time. Start this. It's going to be start of the fourth quarter. And we're back here at the Tomato Bowl, where the Indians have just put 7 more points on the board, going up over the Wildcats, 16-14. We're at the beginning of the fourth quarter now. The J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff coming to you. The Wildcats will be receiving that because the Indians just scored, so it's going to be time for the Wildcats to put something together. It's kind of been back and forth here in this second half, all the way through that third quarter. You know, we had a very uneventful first quarter, then had some good plays and some good scoring in the second quarter, and then the third quarter started off kind of rough for both teams, not getting anywhere on their first possessions, and then all of a sudden it was off to the races, and the Wildcats scored, and the Indians answered back, and they are going to be kicking off from their 40-yard line. The J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. The Wildcats back to receive that. We've got 3 receivers deep in Wildcat territory. 7, 17, and 6, the usual personnel back there to receive the kickoff. But they've been giving some of these short kicks, and they do another one. And,
Nunez again with the diagonal kick. Taken by Wyatt Watson for Sulphur Springs, which is
kind of a standard format there. That's kind of what we've been hearing. They do that short kick, and Wyatt comes up with it. So the Wildcats will start their drive here in their own territory on the Wildcat 27-yard line. So it'll be first and 10 for your Wildcats on their own 27. We'll see if we can get something moving here. On the board.
This is the first play of the fourth quarter. And on first down, they keep it on the ground.
Yeah,
between
good run.
The tackles.
Yeah, number 8 there for the Wildcats, going up the middle and 5 or 6 yards. See where they spot it.
And that is D. Rose Luke.
And they spot him 5, and so it's going to be 2nd and 5 for your Wildcats.
He's seeing a lot of action here in the second half. That was a 72-yard 5-play drive for Jacksonville. The touchdown 55-yard pass from Brady McCown to Jermaine Taylor. Extra point good. 16-9 now. Jacksonville leading over the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. And here is Brady McCown on the loose, or Brady Driver, I should say,
yes,
for Sulphur Springs. And Driver all the way to the Jacksonville 30-yard line.
Yeah, so a keeper there with Brady Driver. You know, we didn't mention that. Both quarterbacks with the first name of Brady, but Brady Driver, the most important Brady we know right now, Wildcat quarterback, takes it a long way there and gets all the way deep into Indian territory. They're going to mark that on the, looks like about the 31
I've got
line.
it right on the 30.
Right on the 30. They've got it marked on the 30 for your Hooten's Hardware first down for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats.
That's 38 yards on the gain there by Brady Driver, the Wildcats quarterback. And here's the handoff. This is Cameron Jefferson off right tackle. Jefferson lowers his shoulder, spins, still on his feet, and out of bounds somewhere near the 20-yard line. And should have another first down for the Wildcats.
Flag on the play in the middle of the field. It should have been a flag on the play for the excessive tackling that I saw there as they got that Wildcat out of bounds and still continue to try to rough him up a little bit. But we'll see what the flag is. Okay.
Personal foul, face mask against Jacksonville.
Oh, well, that's going to be a big gain for the Wildcats. So
that will be half the distance to the goal.
Yes, because they'll tack that on to the end of the play, and he got inside the 20.
Puts it at the 10-yard line, and I believe that will be first and goal. The nose of the ball is right on the 10.
There you go. So your Wildcats now, another Hooten's Hardware first down for your Wildcats deep into Indian territory on the 10-yard line. It's going to be first and goal for your Wildcats.
38-yard gain moments ago by Brady Driver, then a 12-yard gain by Cameron Jefferson, then the face mask penalty against the Indians, and it is first and goal at the 10-yard line.
The Wildcats going to have to take a timeout. I think I know what this one is. I'll explain that here in just a moment. But we're going to take a break with them, and then we'll be back here with Wildcat football in just a moment. Okey-doke.
Mercy.
And we're back with Wildcat football down here in Jacksonville, Texas at the Tomato Bowl with the Wildcats 14, the Jacksonville Indians 16, but the Wildcats are marching down the field. And I think what happened there, John Mark, is one of the Wildcat players was hot, took his helmet off, and he didn't put his helmet back on like he was going to play, and I think he would need to come back out for a play.
I see.
And so the coaches were trying to explain that from the sidelines, and miscommunication, they just went ahead and called timeout. And so after a timeout, I guess he can go back in. I'm not sure, but
right. Or after a play,
or after one play, if you had to sit out one play. But I think that's what happened. I'm not sure, but anyway, either way, there was miscommunication. The Wildcats called a timeout, and so they have 2 left in this half. The Indians have all of their timeouts, and this is some exciting football here as the Wildcats are first and 10 on the first and goal. On the 10-yard line for this Hooten's Hardware first down.
It seems these two teams spark each other. One team comes up with a big play, and then the other one comes back with their own big play. Here's Cameron Jefferson, little draw play, and a short pickup there between the tackles he goes, and here goes another loose helmet.
Yeah, that was, and the Wildcat holding his hands out. That was number 54, had his helmet ripped off by a defender, and it went about 10 yards down the field, and he's holding his hands out looking for a flag, and the flags don't seem to be flying.
Let them play.
Yes, let them play. So
that was Wildcat center Jeff Stevenson. He had to come out of the game, and now we have, in his place, Gage Williams. Snap to Driver. Into the end zone, incomplete, intended for, I believe, Sky Lewis again. Yeah, Sky Lewis very nearly making a spectacular one-handed catch on a ball thrown somewhat behind him. But You saw a flag down?
No, it should have been. It looked like the Indians jumped off sides, and then there was a little pass interference on that. So by the defender, but still no flags. It looks like there's a flag way over there on the other side of the field. But that could have been that. I guess that particular line judge just nope. They're marking it off.
Yeah, they have walked off the penalty here against the Wildcat, or against the Indians, I should say.
Half the distance there. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 for your Wildcats, knocking on the door here of another touchdown.
Driver, the quarterback, 5 steps behind his center.
To keep it.
And Driver close to the goal line, pushing, touchdown. Brady Driver.
Brady Driver on the keeper gets into the end zone, puts 6 points on the board for the Wildcats as Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats. And now it's a whole different ball game here, 20-16. And the Wildcats have an extra point attempt here. We'll see. It looks like they're going to kick the field goal.
Brady Driver, a very dangerous ball carrier for the Wildcats.
Brady Driver in. It looks like maybe they're going for 2.
He had 9 rushing touchdowns last season. That's his first, obviously, this season, but he has 2 touchdown passes to go with it earlier in the ball game. And the Wildcats regained the lead at 20-16, and apparently they will go for 2 here.
We'll try to make it a 6-point ball game here. It's 4-point difference right now. 16-20, the Indians 16, your Wildcats 20. They're going to go for 2, try to make it 22-16.
Empty backfield. Driver takes the snap, going to run it himself, going to his right, and is across the goal line for the 2-point conversion.
That's going to put 2 more points on the board for the Wildcats as they go up 22 over the Indians 16. 9:18 left in the ball game here at the Tomato Bowl down in Jacksonville. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff in just a moment.
Wow.
Good play.
That's 73 yards in 5 plays.
And we're back here at the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville where the Wildcats have just gone ahead of the Jacksonville Fighting Indians. 22-16, 9:18 left in the ball game. Still plenty of time left. A very spirited game here in the fourth quarter. It has been all in the second half, I would say. There's a lot of spirit, we'll call it, a lot of pushing and shoving. And
a little chippy, as they say.
A little chippy. The Wildcats have turned it into a benefit for them, though, as they it's a 6-point game now as the Wildcats are about to kick off the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff to the Indians.
73-yard drive in 5 plays for Sulphur Springs. Big play on that drive. 38-yard run by Brady Driver, and then he gets the 4-yard touchdown run.
Yeah.
Tremendous kick here for Sulphur Springs by Eric Rodriguez as he kicks it into the end zone.
It was all Brady all the time there at the end of that drive. He made it happen. But he got a lot of help from the Wildcats offense as well.
So Eric Rodriguez really showing off his leg there. High school football, but he got one that time, and
he kicked it off from the regular spot.
That's right.
Yeah, the regular spot. And so the
40-yard line.
Indians will get it on their own 25-yard line. They'll have 75 yards to go. 9:18 left in this ball game, and we'll see with this fast-paced offense that the Indians have been showing off. We'll see how they do.
Touchdowns on the last 3 possessions between these two teams. Brady McCown hands off to D.D. Maris over the right side. Maris lowers his shoulder across the line of scrimmage up to the 28-yard line. Yep. He goes for a gain of 3 yards.
He's 2nd and 7 for the Indians, and they're back up. Coaches to our left in this booth getting very excited. It must be the defensive coaches closest to us can feel their momentum in here.
Indians moving from right to left. That's the south end zone at the Tomato Bowl. And hand off to Maris again. They're trying to strip him of the ball. And now the ball does come out. And a loose ball. And still they're scrambling for it near midfield. Wildcats think they have it.
Well, let's see.
No indication from the officials yet. Jacksonville apparently got it back. One official at least says so.
Yeah, there's a Wildcat down. Quite a fight for that ball as he popped out, and one Wildcat fell on it, and then everybody came out, but we've got a Wildcat down. Probably was on the bottom of that pile scrambling for the ball.
D.D. Maris on the carry, probably got to about the 35-yard line or so before the ball was stripped. And then they gain.
Oh, yeah, another 15 yards.
Yeah, 10 or 15 yards, something like that, out to the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're in over here just across the midfield. They're going to put the ball about the Wildcat 48-yard line as one Wildcat player was slow to get up, but he's making his way over to the sideline. So
it's a 22-yard gain all told on that play.
Yeah, they're going to mark that ball right on the 50.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I see officials sipping water out on the field, so we have a timeout for one reason or another here. I don't believe either team took the timeout. Did they? No.
Well, no, I don't know, but the officials looks like they're going to call them back over to the. Well, it was an injury timeout for the
that's
players
true.
down. Yeah, so, but
that's right.
Kind of hurry him along and.
Sulphur Springs leading 22-16. 9 minutes, now 8 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the ball game.
Yep. First and 10 for those Indians.
Here in Jacksonville, about 20 miles to the south of Tyler. Beautiful drive down here this afternoon. Brady McCown waiting on the snap. Has it. Tosses. This goes to Jaden Boyd, who was out of the game with an injury a short time ago, but he's back in. But the Wildcats trap him behind the line of scrimmage. And one of the Wildcats in on that tackle, Bo Loggins, who had 20 tackles and 2 interceptions last season.
There were several Wildcat defenders there that had his number, and they dialed it in to drop him for a loss of 2 back behind the line of scrimmage, and then they threw him a little further back, but they they marked it 2 yards loss.
Second down and 12. McCown throwing downfield on the far side, incomplete at the Wildcat 40-yard line, intended once again for Jermaine Taylor, who had the 55-yard touchdown catch and run here a short time ago.
Yeah. So no gain, incomplete on that. It's still going to be third down and about 12 for the Indians. They're back on their own side of the field, about the 48-yard line, so they've got a ways to go.
Big play in this game with 7:54 to go, and Sulphur Springs leading 22-16.
Yeah, I think this is a make-or-break play right here on third down.
Another bad snap from McCown. He has to chase it down and then picks it up, throws downfield, and it is caught by Jermaine Taylor at the 25-yard line of Sulphur Springs.
A beautiful throw after a bad snap or bad miscommunication, and Brady McCowan launched that down the field. That's you're going to give me the yardage on that in just a minute, John Mark. But and they're scurrying up to the line of scrimmage, keep this momentum going on their quick pace offense. It's first and 10 on the Wildcat 25. 28
yards on the game. And this is Reese. It is Reese Hicks. I want to call him Reese as his last name, but Reese Hicks on the carry up the middle there for Jacksonville, and another nice gain for the Indians as they are inside the Sulphur Springs 20-yard line down to the 18-yard line for a gain of 7 yards.
That pass by McCowan, it was a 28-yard gain, you said, or 23?
Well, I had it 28.
28, but he threw it 38 because he was so far back behind the line of scrimmage when he muffed that snap. So, and he kept his wits about him and got that going. Now there's having a discussion with the officials on the other side of the field. One Wildcat player was limping. But he's staying in the game. Some of the trainers started to go out, and then they decided not to, and so Wildcat players stayed in.
So I think we have a second down and about We've had there's a lot of irregularity with the down marker.
Yes,
it seems
and
to
now
me
they're marking off another penalty.
So it'll be first down, a penalty against the Wildcats, which again we did not see a flag. But
now it's 1st and 5.
1st and 5 here.
Could have been maybe a delay of game on the Wildcats that they weren't ready.
1st and 5 from the 20-yard line for Jacksonville. And that's Reese Hicks
Close.
Off tackle to the right, and he gets down to about the 15-yard line for a gain of 5 yards or thereabouts.
Yep, they're going to mark him a little short of that first down. It'll be second and short.
Yeah, it looks like 2nd and 2 for Jacksonville. Sulphur Springs 17-yard line. McCown handing off to the tailback. Straight ahead.
Doesn't really go anywhere. I'm not going to have to check his forward progress. They didn't see what they gave him. He's standing, the official standing right on the line, which would be the line for him to gain to get first.
Reese Hicks again for Jacksonville to the 15-yard line, and should be very close to a first down.
Wildcats up 22-16 with 6 minutes and 18 seconds and counting in the ball game. Lots of time being taken here to get this next play set up.
A lot of discussion among the officials.
Yeah, the play clock's not even running. They've stopped the
ball is just inside the 15-yard line. Now it shows the down marker shows third down.
Oh, they're going to come out. They're bringing the chains out to measure. It's so close.
You don't see many measurements these days.
No, you don't.
For some reason.
6:05 left in the ball game. That game clock now stopped as they measure to see, and it's going to look like it's going to be a little short.
About a half yard short of a first down.
Yep.
Just inside the 15-yard line. Sulphur Springs leading 22-16. 4-yard touchdown run by Brady Driver just a short time ago. The last Wildcat possession gave them the lead.
Wildcats really need to turn on the heat here on the defense to keep these Indians from getting in the end zone. If they could hold them even to a field goal, it'd be a big advantage for your Wildcats. 22-16, a 6-point difference.
So this is third and less than one.
Oh, and now there's a false start on the offense of the Indians. There's going to be some flags. That's going to back them up. And so that third and very short is going to become third and kind of long.
Third and about a 5. Yeah. So makeable, certainly, but that's not nearly, we'll call it 3rd and 6 because it was 3rd and 1.
And I'll say it again, it's just another miscommunication on the Indians.
Yeah.
They've just had a real tough time communicating. And so now they've got same play, real tight formation, going to run it right up the middle, but it's 3rd and 5.
It's a direct snap to Jaden Boyd, the big 245-pound back, and he's just powering over the right side for the Indians.
And makes the first down.
And is close to that first down anyway at the 10-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's got it.
Yep. Yeah, they had to get right to the 15.
That's pure power football there.
Yes.
Yardage is good for the Fighting Indians.
Jaden Boyd, 6 foot, 245 pounds. And he has a first down at the Wildcat 10-yard line. This drive started at the Jacksonville 25-yard line. This now will be the 10th play of the drive.
It looks like they're going to go with the same play. Is that him in again?
Now this is Reese Hicks taking a direct snap. And again, we have this huge scrum. Now there's a loose ball into the end zone. As Hicks was close to the goal line on the run, the ball bouncing into the end zone. I think that's a live ball.
Yeah, it sure looked like it.
More Wildcats than Indians around the ball. Wildcats seem to think they have the ball. If so, it'll be a touchback.
Wildcats,
and they will preserve their lead. They're getting excited, running off the field. Still no call from the officials. Yes, it's a touchback.
Yeah.
Sulphur Springs ball at the 20-yard line.
Wow. Great turn of events for the Wildcat defense as they get the Indians to cough up the ball. And one of those, well, you called it a rugby scrum earlier, that they were just trying to power toward the end zone. And the ball came out. The Wildcat fell on it. It was in the end zone. So now it comes out to the 20, and the Wildcats get it 1st and 10 with 5:15 left in the ball game. So So this is turning out to be quite an exciting game. The Wildcats up 22-16. That kept the Indians off the scoreboard for this drive and turns the ball over.
Be interesting to see on the video who actually comes up with the fumble recovery there. There were 3 or 4 Wildcats had a shot at it, and somebody got it near the back of the end zone. Now that drive there for Jacksonville goes 60 yards in 9 plays, but the fumble at the end of it into the end zone from about the 2-yard line.
Right, so I expect the Wildcats keep the ball on the ground, take some time off the clock, and 5:15 left in the ball game. We're ahead, but only by 6 points. It's still anybody's ball game. The Wildcats are going to have to perform some very good clock management as they hand off and get a few yards on the ground.
D. Rose Luke, again, getting the call for the Wildcats off right tackle.
And the Wildcat losing his helmet. He'll come out for a play. Number 14 going in for the offense on the Wildcat side.
That's Chris Adams going in.
Also 22.
Yeah, that is
our running back.
Cameron Jefferson coming into the ballgame.
He's been he's had a fantastic second quarter here.
Second half.
I mean, yeah, because he didn't get much action in the first half, and he gets the ball. Nope, Brady Driver keeps it.
Power football here for Sulphur Springs is Brady Driver basically acting as if he was a single-wing tailback, just takes the snap and puts it under his arm and goes off right tackle behind the blocking of his line, and he also had an H-back in there on the right side, Grayson Reams, and he's up to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, so a great gain by Brady Driver, a first
15.
down. 15-yard gain. Thank you, John Marco. Hooten's Hardware first down for your Wildcats as the clock not moving, 4:29. They moved the chains. It was a running play, but the clock is still stopped.
Snap to Driver. And this is Cameron Jefferson, who takes the handoff, goes between the tackles, lowers his shoulder, and gets out to the 40-yard line for a gain of about 3 yards.
Yep, clock's rolling now, 4:14 and counting. We've got a Indian down, so they're going to stop the clock at 4:07.
By the way, Jacksonville has 3 timeouts. Look, this is definitely a cramp.
Yep.
I know that. I know that posture.
You know how that looks.
I know how that feels.
They stopped the clock at 4:01. Actually, the Wildcats up 22-16. So they just
this game has not exactly been a thing of beauty, has it, Chad? But it certainly has had its moments.
For either team, for offense, defense on either team, there's been some miscommunication, but it's working out for the Wildcats in this second half. And Brady Driver has had a fantastic game. Can't wait to see the stats when we get all those added up. Because he may have just as many running yards as some of his running backs.
I think probably more.
Yeah.
I think he'll be the leading rusher.
Yeah, and he's made some great passes and just had a real good game. Hasn't given up.
He has 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown rushing. Does the Sulphur Springs junior quarterback. Senior quarterback. That's the second time I've done that tonight. We'd like to have him back for another year.
His parents are going to be so disappointed. No, they understand. We know Brady Driver's a great player as a senior this year. Will probably move on and do great things with his talent. As the Wildcats come up, they've reset the clock, 4:12. Now it's counting down, and the Wildcats 2nd and 5.
Jeff Stevenson at center, out over the football for... And Cameron Jefferson.
There we go.
On the carry there for Sulphur Springs, up to about the 46-yard line for a gain of 5 or 6 yards. And do we have a flag down on this?
There's a flag on the play. I'm not sure who it's against. There was a little... we'll call it a kerfuffle, I think.
Contretemps.
Yeah, we had a little kerfuffle going there between 2 players, and we'll see which one got caught with the flag.
Do you see the flag?
Yeah, they've already picked it up.
Okay, fine.
I saw it fly out there. They threw it overhanded.
Either that or when they throw it very high in the air.
Yeah, right.
It's very decisive. But it's personal fouls.
It's right there at his feet. He just picked it up.
I see. It was on the yellow part of the insignia.
Of course. Not only do we have all the yellow caps, we have a lot of yellow logo in the middle of the field. And so it's against the Indians. It's going to be a big one, 15 yards. That's going to move them all the way down. The Wildcats are going to have their next Hooten's Hardware first down on the Indian 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Your Wildcats, 3:54 left in the ball game. They're up 22-16 over those fighting Indians.
Again, keep in mind, Jacksonville has all 3 timeouts here, and they may start to employ them at some point on this drive if Sulphur Springs continues to move the football. Brady Driver in the shotgun. There's a low snap, and Driver will have to fall on it back near midfield.
Well, that's something we've seen on both sides of the ball this game, and he lost about 10 yards on that when he missed it and had to go dive on it. But kept his wits about him. He's a very calm quarterback, the Brady Driver, and fell on the ball and kept it. Lost about 8 yards, I think, on that is what they're going to call it.
Right.
And it's going to be 2nd and 18. The clock ticking down. 3:06, 3:04 left in the ball game.
D. Rose Luke back in the ball game at running back, and a fake to him. Driver keeps it, breaks a tackle in the backfield. Driver down the sideline, still on his feet inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line for another first down for Sulphur Springs.
And another flag on the play. I think that's going to be a horse collar tackle. The Brady Driver got yanked down on the sideline there, and another wonderful run all the way. He needed 18 and got more to get that first down. Broke a couple of tackles and then got taken down right at the sideline, and I think they're going to call that a horse collar tackle, and that's going to be a big penalty again.
26-yard gain by Brady Driver on the play.
And they're kind of marking, the one official over there marking where where it happened. I may have missed the call over there on the far side. I was watching this one about the mark off the yardage. Okay, the
personal foul. Yeah, horse collar. Good call, Chad.
Yes, they saw my flag from here. So that's going to move it 15 more.
Well, half the distance anyway. Yeah, to the 10.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were in. Yeah. It's going to be, you know what? They're going to move it to the 10 and a little yard line. Yeah, it's not on the 10.
Just shy of the 10.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 on the 10 and a little yard line. So it's not 1st and goal, but it might as well be, because if they get a first down, they're going to get a touchdown. It's that close.
First down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Well, there was movement on the defense, and so the center for the Wildcats snapped the ball to try to catch them off sides. Brady Driver wasn't ready for the snap, but we'll see what happens. And there's a Indian down on the ground also. I think the heat has really taken a toll on these players. You were talking about the cramps earlier, and number 70, I'm not going to call this number on the Indian because I'm going to get it wrong, but one of the defensive players on the Indian side there is, I think he's.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah.
Sure. One of their trainers is out having a look at him, and again, it is the first thing you think of is the cramps in this kind of heat and humidity. And
yeah, because the play didn't even start to run there, and he's already getting up. He's going to make his way to the sidelines. We're going to be back playing football here pretty quick.
Cameron Devereaux,
72 for the Indians.
Well, the jerseys tend to ride up now.
They do.
So it's hard to tell. Sometimes you can only see the top half, and that looks like 72. He's walking off on his own power, though. So.
2:48 left in the ball game. The Wildcats up 22-16. Got a fresh set of downs all the way down on the 10-yard line, and so they can make something happen here. I'm not sure if there was a penalty, if anything was called, if somebody called it We snapped the ball.
I was not going to say anything about that, but
yeah,
but you're right.
But they whistled that play dead, and the ball got snapped at some point. But anyway,
we'll go with it.
1st and 10. Your Wildcats. The Hootens Hardware first down.
Empty backfield for Brady Driver. Takes the snap and looking to run it. Cuts it back. Going to his right now. There's a flag down.
Oh,
and there's a punch thrown, a literal punch thrown by a Jacksonville player against a Sulphur Springs player. Now Driver picked up about 2 or 3 yards. Line.
So that there's a lot of laundry on the field right now. I saw that one get thrown in overhanded all the way from the sideline into the middle of the field, and players still arguing with each other. One was on the ground, and the Indian player reached up and hit the Wildcat in the face mask, and then more flags came flying. So we'll see how it all sorts out here.
I would think that would be pretty painful.
It would be, but
you don't want to slug a guy who's wearing a football helmet.
Right. You're not sure how many penalties and how many steps the official is going to get him. Maybe walking it one way and back again.
Well, rarely do you see what I would imagine to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty quite as blatant as that one.
Yes, and I'm going to say that penalty was probably more than a kerfuffle. Earlier, that was.
Now you don't know what precipitated it.
No, I don't. I didn't see that, but I did see that flag. It was a beautiful arch from the sideline all the way over. Yeah, and it's really got the officials talking down there. So.
Well, we are now over 3 hours into this game here tonight. This has been a long and involved and sometimes confusing.
I'm going to say an hour of it was officials.
Conferences, yes.
The conferences, and they were contemplating their decision. So, and nothing against them. They've got a hard job to do. It's just as hot for them as it is everybody else. And it's the first game of the regular season, so. Got to get back together. He's coming over to explain to Coach Faircloth, excuse me. So he'll get the penalty in on that and see what the result is going to be. So maybe has the option. Faircloth has the option of declining that and giving his answer to the official. He's walking to the other side of the field. Still one flag on the
personal foul.
Yeah.
Ooh. There's an indication against Sulphur Springs.
Yeah.
And no indication against Jefferson. No, personal.
Another personal foul.
Conduct against Jefferson.
All right. And then something else. Jefferson.
That was definitely a personal foul indicated against Sulphur Springs, but then he gave an indication that I was not familiar with, a signal that, and I'm pretty familiar with most of the signals.
Right.
But apparently it's offsetting penalties is the point.
Because here we are, the very same place, first down, right. 10 yards.
Now wipe out the little short gain there by Brady Driver.
Yeah. Oh, no,
a few moments ago.
They're going to give him another yard. They're taking the sticks away. Now it's 1st and goal on the little less than a 10-yard line.
So Driver again kind of taking this thing into his own hands as he takes the snap and goes off the right side down to the 5-yard line or very close. Now they say the 6. They put it down at the 6.
Brady Driver cutting out the middleman, taking it up the middle himself, and just saving a little time.
On the ball game and is continuing to roll. Wildcats content to let it run right now, leading 22-16 over Jacksonville and at the Jacksonville 6-yard line.
Jacksonville with all their like, and so we're going to take one with them. We'll take a break and be right back here at the Tomato Bowl with Wildcat football.
I would think that would be Jacksonville timeout.
Okay, well, I thought it should have been 2, but he was over here on this side when he called it.
Yeah. So let's see, line of scrimmage now will be the 3. Wow.
And we're back in Jacksonville at the Tomato Bowl for Wildcat football. The Wildcats are up 22-16 over the Jacksonville Indians. 1:33 left in the ball game. Brady Driver having a fantastic second half, putting a lot of points on the board for the Wildcats, and he's about down there knocking on the door again. John Mark looks about on the 3-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 3 for Brady Driver. He's kept it the past 2 plays, and he may keep it again, trying to get it into the end zone.
This drive started at the Sulphur Springs 20-yard line, and remember, it started when the Wildcats recovered a fumble in the end zone, as Jacksonville appeared to be driving for what would have been the go-ahead touchdown, but there was a fumble into the end zone, and the Wildcats recovered almost on the end line, got the ball back at the 20, and now this is the 9th play of the drive. They're at the Jacksonville 3-yard line with 1:39 left to go, and Sulphur Springs leading 22-16. Driver with the snap, straight ahead. Driver lowers his shoulder, close to the goal line, touchdown.
And Brady Driver put 6 more points on the board for the Wildcats, as Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats. That's going to extend that lead to 28-16 with the extra point attempt coming. And so great job by Brady Driver. He's really taken this second half into his own hands, literally, and put 2 touchdowns on the board. John Mark?
Well, that drive in particular, he really did it all there, and he had some gains by D. Rose Luke and also Cameron Jefferson, but almost all Brady Driver. And here's the extra point attempt here for the Wildcats by Eric Rodriguez, and it is good.
So that's going to make it 29-16. Those Wildcats doing a great job. They've only 1:33 left in the ball game. It does it. It seems like they've got it all wrapped up. I'm going to go with that.
Well, it's looking good. It's looking good.
We're going to take one quick break as we get ready for that J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. We'll be back with Wildcat football in just a moment. Fantastic. Great. Thank you, James.
It'll be interesting to watch the handshake line here tonight.
Yes. Yes, there's been some spirited play here this evening. And we're back in Jacksonville, Wildcat football. The Wildcats are up 29-16 with only 1:33 left. They just put 7 more points on the board with a Brady Driver 3-yard run into the end zone on the quarterback keeper. So he's had a great game tonight. Just 1:33 is all the Indians are going to have.
On those flags, don't they, for a night game? But
right.
You can just barely see them, but they're just hanging limp.
Yeah, it's still 88 degrees here at 10:42 in Jacksonville.
Here's the diagonal kick, however, by Rodriguez, taken at the 31-yard line. That's D.D. Maris. Takes it on the run, and he returns it to about the 39-yard line for Jacksonville. So the
yes,
Indians have 2 timeouts remaining.
Yes, they took that timeout. You were right. I
took a timeout just before the Sulphur Springs touchdown.
The official calling that timeout was over on the Sulphur Springs side. I thought it was Sulphur Springs taking a timeout, which was odd. But it was the Indians. They have 2 left, and the Wildcats have 2 timeouts left. They won't need them. It's kind of all but over for the Indians. They're going to try to make a good showing here, kind of make a go of it.
Would you say right now, I would say Sulphur Springs fans outnumber Jacksonville stands in the stadium right now?
Absolutely. They've all gone home. They've got a shorter trip to get back to the air conditioning over there. So
here's another low snap. Batted around, and it is picked up here by Reese Hicks, who comes to the near side and is bumped out of bounds near the 45-yard line, and averting disaster once again there for Jacksonville. So he ends up gaining about 5 yards to the 44. Gets out of bounds, so that stops the clock, and that's also to their advantage.
1:23 left on the game clock.
They've had so many problems with the snaps here in the second half. I don't know why they didn't have problems in the first half. Here's a tunnel screen attempted to Jermaine Taylor.
And then just in and out of his hands.
Incomplete from Brady McCown. So 3rd down and 5 at the 44-yard line. A minute 18 left to go in the ball game, and the Wildcats leading 29-16.
They're not getting anywhere fast, and they need a miracle at this point.
That last drive, by the way, by Sulphur Springs, 80 yards in 9 plays.
Wow.
A 3-yard touchdown run by Brady Driver, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. He has 2 touchdown passes, and both of those to Sky Lewis, and one of those a spectacular catch by Sky Lewis in the back corner of the end zone. 3rd down and 5, 44-yard line, and the handoff here up the middle, and it goes to Reese Hicks, and Hicks should have the 1st down across the 50 to the Sulphur Springs 49-yard line.
Yep, they're going to move the chains on that one, and the clock still should be going. They're going to stop the clock to move the chains, I guess. Minute 13 left in the ball game to snap the ball.
Wildcats with a 2-score lead, 29-16. Here's a pass intercepted for Sulphur Springs.
And he lays down, and with minute 3 left on the clock, the Wildcats take over possession of the ball, and this is going to be the ball game, folks. Your Wildcats will prove victorious over the Jacksonville Indians 29-16 as they can now run the clock out with a minute 3 left, and a great interception.
That is Braxton Wall, the senior linebacker for Sulphur Springs, who comes up with the pick at the 29-yard line to close it out for the Wildcats.
Yes, that's going to put I'm not even sure that the Indians have 11 men on the field to come out to defend this. They just know that Brady Driver's going to kneel down, let the clock run down, and then do it again, and that's
Jacksonville still has a couple of timeouts if they want to use them, but it seems unlikely.
Yeah, it seems like they're not going to do that. So
Driver goes to a knee on the first snap and puts the ball back to the 25-yard line for a loss of 4, which of course is meaningless here. 44 seconds and the clock is rolling, and so the Wildcats will be 1-0, and next week they go to Mount Pleasant.
That's right.
To play the Tigers, the black and gold Mount Pleasant Tigers, and that's a very nice facility there. So we look forward to that. Once again, Driver taking a knee, and that should do it. Down to 23 seconds, and they won't have to snap it again. That's going to do it, as the Wildcats had a tough time for most of the game here with the Jacksonville Indians, but they got it going late in the ball game, and they're going to come away from Deep East Texas here with a 29-16 win over the Jacksonville Indians. So we'll see what, if anything, transpires here in the handshake line.
Oh, no, let's not be negative, John Mark. It's good sportsmanship here.
Everybody on their best behavior.
They've had a very spirited game, and it's just the heat, of course, gets to everybody. But the Wildcats come out on top, 29-16 over the Jacksonville Fighting Indians here at the Tomato Bowl down in Jacksonville. So glad I got that Tomato Bowl thing right. You told me that early on.
Right.
Yes, great game, and we thank you for joining us for this game. I'm Chad Young with your color commentary. Of course, John Mark Dempsey on play-by-play, Matt Jansen on the camera, and our buddy James Terry back in the studio making it all happen. So we appreciate your attendance here at this game, and we hope to see you and have you in attendance at the next game next Friday night. Mount Pleasant, 7:30.
And the first home game will be September 8th versus Hallsville.
Thanks. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here next time. Wildcat football here on KSST. Thank you, James.